Hello YouTube, this is Retta. I'm doing a reading on Chris Brown. His energy has been calling me, I think for like a month or two. And with this whole thing with his ex and this restraining order, it's really calling me to sit there and see what's going on with him. Um, I've always loved Chris Brown. I think I was in my young 20s, in my early 20s when he came on the scene. And he was such a talented, very talented young man. He could sing, he could dance, he was a prodigy. And to see how his life has really spiraled out of control since, the whole Rihanna, fight happened. It's really sad because, you know, um, he's allowed that moment, even though, he was very young. I have no qualms. Nobody should ever hit, a woman, especially if you're a male. I teach my son that all the time. But, you know, um, something happened. And I would have liked for him to take that situation and learn from it and become a better person from it, but instead it's like that was a defining part for him that didn't really turn out so good. He didn't really. So I would like to know what's going on with his head. And I always have my qualms about, child stars and stuff like that. And they become prey, to a lot of predators out there. So um, I'm just trying to understand more of what's going on with Chris Brown as a whole. Also, I'm going to get into some of the Steve Bannon and Trump later on because I was sad to see that Bannon has lost his, you know, his role's kind of been diminished. Not sad as, oh, I'm a pro Brennan. I'm just sad because Trump didn't have that many loyal supporters. And it's like he lost Flynn and now he's lost Brennan. Is he going to lose? Oh, I can't even think of her name. I've done a reading on her, but, his campaign manager, I can't even think of her name right now. Is she next? It's like this month is already going to be starting to be bad for him. At the end of this month, things are going to start getting really bad. May is going to be worse, and then June's really, really going to be bad. So I can just see it starting now, and I can just see how it's going. So I'm going to do some insights into Trump and Brandon and see what's going on. Hopefully, it's not, anything serious, but we'll see. But this is Chris Brown, and I don't think I'm going to do anything with his ex, Carucci. I think I'm just, curious what's going on with his psyche. What does he need to work on? What's going on with him? Okay, so I want to see, where is Chris Brown right now? So right now he's in the Seven of Pentacles. So he sees the progress. He does see, the progress. Things are ready to harvest. So the work he's put into, the things that he's planted, maybe professional wise, his signal wise. I think he said he's going on tour. So that's ready to harvest. So that's where his head is at right now. He's looking at, all the work that he's putting in, it is going to come to harvest. Okay, so let's see the underlying issue for that. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. So this could either be a woman, a Queen of Wands, could be a woman, or it could be what is affected, what is the underlying course for this not to be successful in his harvest is this Queen of Wands energy, which is a fierce energy, a fiery energy. It could be a woman, that will stop this. I don't know. Could be a woman. It could be that he is thinks he knows what he needs to do, which he might not really. He's not taking any advice. He thinks he knows what's best. We'll see. Underlined underneath that is the Page of Wands. So I think that there's a woman involved, the Queen of Rods, the Wands. I'm thinking the underlying issue, it could be a woman. I'm thinking this is an older woman. It could be his mother. I'm thinking it could be his mother. So that's the underlying issue that's the cross to bear in regards to getting this fruit to harvest. It could be his mother, or it could be, him not really listening, him knowing, he thinks he knows everything. He's thinking with his passions, his emotions, his aggressions, he's thinking, but underlying to everything else is his daughter. So it looks like underlying to everything else is his daughter. So the Queen of Rods, we're going to see if this Queen of Wands is his mother, or it could just be his state of mind that he's in. I want to see what's going on in his past. I might get a little bit more. But what? The Ace of Wands. So in his past, he goes, like I was saying, he doesn't think. He just goes by, his feelings, his emotions. He acts on that. Whatever feels good, whatever, if he's angry, he works off of that. He's a very fiery personality, so his emotions and his passions are what guide him. And, that could be a bad thing. Also, his penis guides him too. So, he's gotten himself in a lot of stuff because he doesn't think before, he screws or have sex or anything like that. Okay, let's see. What is the three main things, or what is the underlying issue that started making everything, turn out wrong or bad for him? So that's the Five of Cups. So the Four of Cups. Let's see. Yep. I'm thinking this whole. Yep. All right. So the underlying, what started as what started making life go astray for him was a relationship. A relationship with the woman. And this woman is very, very smart. So I'm thinking that this woman, who's very smart and very vicious with the mouth, she can be very vicious with her mouth. Her mouth is like a sword. I'm thinking this is Rihanna. And he didn't realize, he was too busy not realizing what he had. He was focusing on the new and what he could get, like, new people, new experiences, new situations. He wasn't really, focusing on, all these things, these things that have been laid out for him, the relationships that have been there for him, maybe his family, maybe a relationship with Rihanna or anything, all these things that have been set. He was focusing on this new, this new stuff, these things from the hidden hand, so people were just giving him things, giving him women, or, women were just giving themselves. Money was, so he wasn't focused, and the Lovers. It was a woman. That was the change in factor in his whole life that started making everything go downhill. I think that was that relationship with Rihanna. With the Ace of Wands, he didn't think before he acted. So, he didn't think before he acted. So when he did have this fight with her and it got physical, he wasn't thinking. He was working on his anger or his aggression or whatever. That's what he was working on. Let's see what's in his head right now. Right now, I don't think his head's right. This is the Five of Pentacles, but with the Five of Pentacles, it's to me this one, for me, he looks injured. He might have, to me, even though the Five of Pentacles usually means a loss and, hope and this and that, I don't see this with that. I think there is hope in here where he needs to get some help. To me, this looks like a hospital. And you see this bandage around his head. He has some type of something going on with his mind. Something's damaged in his mind, and he really needs to go get help. And that's his window of hope. If he goes gets help, he can, fix this mental, this mental issue that's going on with his head, whether, because it's causing him a lot of pain and discomfort. Let's see another card for that. Yeah. And he might just have to leave things behind. So this is what's on his mind, his hopes or his fears. Maybe he has been thinking that he needs to go get some help. And maybe he's also been thinking, he needs to leave things behind and just go upon his journey and leave things behind, But if he doesn't fix what's in his head, you see all these mountains and all these skies and all this fiery, he's not really leaving his problems. He's bringing his problems with him, and he's just going to go from worse trouble to worse, from bad trouble to worse. So until he, accepts that something's not right with him mentally and gets help, and even reaches out, I think that's the underlying issue. This is his mother, which is the Queen of Wands. And I see this too. He really needs to take that help. Maybe he really needs to, Armand, sorry everybody. He really needs to take that help. And it looks like maybe from his mother and go get this help. Because, no matter how he tries to walk away from his issues or whatever, it just follows him. All right, let's see what's in the future for him. Judgment. This is an underlying, this is his predicament. It's judgment. He needs to come to are you going to go get help? Or aren't you? Are you going to be an adult and stop, being this victim, which I see his head, this victim? Because judgment is coming. He needs to put things in perspective. He needs to take responsibility for his own health, for his own needs, for his own wants. And, he really needs to, the Queen of Pentacles. I think he needs to get back with his mother. He needs to mend this relationship with his mother. He really needs to mend this relationship. I don't know if you see it. This Queen of Pentacles, and then here's the Two of Cups. I think he needs to mend this relationship with his mother. Let's see. 3 more cups. He's hoping. Let me see this card. Yeah. So he needs to get out of this wishing mode. Just wishing that things would be different or changing is not. You have to be an active participant in your change. You can't just hope and you can't just wish it away. You have to hopefully, and that will determine, here's his Wheel of Fortune of what comes next, which is his judgment. Is he going to get this help? Is he going to turn this Wheel of Fortune around and get back to, this young man that, as the public we loved? Or is he going to continue on this path with these troubles and these, I'm sorry, it's my grandson in the background, these troubles and this turbulent times? It's up to him. He's at a crossroads. He's really thinking, he's really thinking. I think he's thinking of his mother. I'm seeing her a lot in this reading. I think that if she reaches out to him more, if she reaches out to him and tries to help him with this mental stuff that he's going on, I'm hoping that he will be receptive because he wants his mother back and he realizes things are out of control. So that's the end of my reading for Chris Brown. I didn't really look into the situation with Karrueche too much. I see the Page of Wands. I didn't really, even though there's many women in here, I don't look at I see Karrueche, but I see more. I don't really see Karrueche anywhere in the future. His judgment also could be with this court case. It's up to him to get this help. You know, it's up to him to get this help. And that will be the leading force of how things turn out for him, and how things will be. So that's the end of the reading. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will do a reading later on with Trump and Brennan.